Welcome, friends. Today we're going to make shrimp scampi candlelight, and it's from a book called The Flavor of New England, and it was a gift given to me a long time ago, and I decided to make it. And of course there's a story behind the book, and there is even a story behind the shrimp scampi recipe itself. It came from a place called the Candlelight Inn in Massachusetts. They were like a bed and breakfast type of inn with a nice restaurant, and it was very popular. And apparently this was a very good recipe because it ended up in that book. And so I decided to try it for more reasons than one. And I decided to do it without changing the recipe. I mean, let's face it. If somebody perfected their recipe and they served it in their restaurant, I would say probably for years, and to thousands of diners. So why should I change it? Let me try it just the way it is, and we'll see what happens. It's an excellent recipe. And even though I'm used to sauteing my garlic before I do anything else, this recipe called for everything to be put into melted butter. And honestly, I didn't realize that this many things would go into a shrimp scampi, because I've made it before, but not this particular recipe. This has a dash of this and a dash of that, and you can even see a photograph of that if you want to pause and look at it. But I'll also put all of these ingredients down in the description below. It turned out to be a pretty good recipe despite all the little ingredients, but fortunately for me, because I do love to cook, I had all the ingredients on hand. Except for the shrimp, of course, which I had to go out and buy. And those are large, or actually jumbo shrimp. There's roughly 15 or 16, I actually lost count. Not that it really matters. The idea is roughly 16 large or jumbo shrimp, and if you were going to use medium shrimp, you'd probably be up to like 2 dozen, like 24 shrimp. And what I found out about this recipe is that they're called to butterfly the shrimp, which the only time I do that is if I want to make, say, a baked stuffed shrimp like this, right? Something like that, where you butterfly them and you form the stuffing around, like under and above the shrimp, so it doesn't dry out, but it cooks inside the stuffing. If you looked at that picture that I just showed you, they had it standing up, and I think they did that just for photographic purposes, and that's fine. And this was a gift, like I said, from friends, and they dedicated the book to me, and I really appreciated that they gave this to me back in '97. And I'm only now getting around to actually trying this recipe. I have tried other recipes out of this book, and none of them disappointed. And so you'll probably be seeing more recipes from that book. Even though I have my own recipes that I like to make, you all know me, just about everything I make is either something I invented or something that's commonly known, and I just put my own little twist. But this particular book, when I do make a recipe, I promise to follow the recipe exactly as it's written. And so I laid out all the shrimp, as you can see, not as pretty as the picture, and I started pouring in all this sauce, and I said, boy, that's a lot of sauce. And I thought about it. You are actually poaching the shrimp in the sauce, and the shrimp gives its own juices to the sauce, and so it combines to make this really delicious sauce that you can pour over pasta, or you can put it over rice. And of course I like to use these angel hair nest. You've seen it before in my breakfast video, one of them anyway, and I use them to this day. I really love using those. But as I pulled it out of the oven, and of course put the garnish in, I said, you don't really need to put this over pasta or rice. You could just serve this with some good Italian bread or French bread, better still, some garlic bread. But no matter how you serve it, it's going to be delicious. I can guarantee you that. So I went ahead and I just plated that up like I always do. I have to make some photographs, and it came out absolutely fantastic. So I hope you try it, and I hope you come back each week for more great videos made for people who like to cook. Until then, bon appetit.